Harsh, am I audible? Hello, Harsh, are you there? Harsh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So we will wait for one more minute, and after that we will start. Let us see, like someone
Okay,
else.
sir.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Okay, okay. So we can start now. I don't think if someone else will join, they can join after, so no problem. Uh, in the previous assignment, one question was remaining. So first we will solve that question, and then after that we will move to the next assignment. So question number 10. So can you try to solve the question number 10? I hope the screen is visible to you. Are you solving question number 10? Harsh, are you solving?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. may I know like how you are solving? Like, may I know your approach? Any one of you?
Sir, molecule, uh,
Yeah,
as you have provided the solution,
yeah.
so first of all, we have to calculate the molecular weight of the oxidizer, then the air fuel ratio of stoichiometry, and from the given condition, 1 kg per kg of the air per kg of the fuel, we have to calculate the actual air fuel ratio.
Just give me.
Sir, I'm having one doubt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Yes, 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 Harsh. Now,
Uh,
yes,
yes, sir. Sir, in the solution,
yes,
uh, we you have calculated the stoichiometric air fuel ratio,
yeah, yeah.
and
Stoichiometric
then
air fuel
you
ratio. Yes.
yes, and then you take the one upon the stoichiometric air fuel ratio. It is due to the 1 kg of fuel per kg of air. Is it for that
See,
to
wait.
find out the fraction of the stoichiometric?
Just give me a minute. Yeah, yeah. Now you are saying stoichiometric fuel. See, we need to use this equation. LF is equal to the 1330 into Q dot
Yeah.
F into that fuel stream, volume flow rate of fuel stream, into
Okay.
TF upon temperature of the fuel stream upon temperature of the oxidizer stream upon this is ln 1 plus 1 upon s, ln 1 plus 1 upon s. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we
Okay.
need to use this equation, and now you are saying y s is equal to the s is equal to molecular weight of sorry, number of mole of oxidizer upon number of mole of fuel.
No, sir.
So
Here it would be one minus
yeah,
the that primary aeration will be there next.
yeah. This will be
SF,
one
SF, S
one
fuel,
one upon s, 1 minus x upon x plus 1
SF.
x f, yeah, yeah, 1 minus x upon x primary, x primary plus 1 upon s, yes.
Okay.
So
Now,
now
sir.
see, this is as this is like this is the case when there is no mixing of oxidizer. This S, yeah,
That is S fuel when
yeah,
only fuel is
yeah,
supplied.
yeah, yeah. So this you can write as fuel, like when there is no oxidizer. When in the fuel stream you are not adding any oxidizer, this is that S. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what is your doubt?
Now, sir, the question is, let us say if the actual air fuel ratio is something like 2 kg per 1 kg of fuel, then should we do 2 upon the air fuel ratio of stoichiometric in order to find out the mass fraction of the primary air?
No. See, the mass fraction of primary air is this is the definition, like mass
X
flow
prime.
rate. See, this. Please listen to me. The mass fraction of primary air is mass flow rate of air present in fuel upon mass flow rate of stoichiometric air required.
Okay.
So now you calculate X mass.
No, that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, the question is, if instead in this in the data it is given, it is 1 kg per kg of fuel.
Yeah, See, this is 1 kg of oxidizer present in 1 kg of fuel. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
instead, if it is 2 kg or 3 kg,
Yeah.
then we have to divide. We have to take 3 upon the air fuel ratio stoichiometry. Correct,
No. I'm not getting. See, I'm getting confused. You
sir?
are saying
Here
suppose that you are saying it is 1 kg of fuel as 1 kg of oxidizer per
it is
kg of
given.
fuel. Yeah, it
It
is
is
given
given.
1
Now,
kg
suppose.
oxidizer
Yeah.
per kg of fuel.
Okay.
It is given. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
what is your doubt?
Now, suppose, sir, the condition is given such that it is, let us say, 2 or 3 kg per kg of fuel.
Yeah.
Then we have to divide 3 upon air fuel ratio of stoichiometry. Correct?
3 upon, yes. 3 upon,
Okay. Okay. Air
yeah.
fuel ratio. Okay. Fine.
See, then we have to divide to calculate x. We have to divide 3 upon the mass. Suppose that we have 1 kg. We have 1 kg of fuel
Yes.
and 3 kg of oxidizer. So here you
Hmm.
divide 3 upon the amount of mass of oxidizer required to burn 1 kg of fuel.
Okay.
I hope it
Yes.
is. I hope it is clear. So in this
Yes.
case, we will. In this case, we will write the stoichiometric equation. Then we will know like how much amount of oxidizer is required.
Okay. So here we have to divide 3 upon air fuel ratio of stoichiometry.
3 upon mass of oxidizer required. Mass of oxidizer, because this is mass. 3 kg is the mass. So you divide
No.
with the mass. See, the
Yes. Yes.
definition of X is like mass of oxidizer present in the fuel stream upon mass of required oxidizer to burn stoichiometrically.
Okay. Correct.
So now in this case you are saying, suppose that there are 3 kg of oxidizer present in 1 kg stream. So you
Hmm.
put in the numerator 3 and in denominator whatever mass of oxidizer will be required, that should come in the
Sto-
denominator.
okay. Stoichiometric one.
Yeah,
Stoichiometric
stoichiometric one.
one.
Yes,
Okay.
stoichiometric one.
Fine. Fine. Okay. Understood.
Okay,
Understood, sir.
okay. For like others, is this clear? Is this question like you are able to solve, or do you have doubt in this question? Okay, Surbi, thank you. Izadul Rahman, is this question clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Harsh, you are solving, right? Or you got the answer? Like question is clear to you?
Yes, sir. It is clear, sir.
It is clear. So I need not to solve, or should I solve, or what should I do? Should I move to the next assignment, or should I solve this? It's up to you. I can solve it, or if you want, I can move to the next assignment. Okay. So here I want to ask you one thing. See, in this case, how did you calculate the volume flow rate of the fuel stream? May I know anyone, how did you calculate? Because in this correlation you need the volume flow rate of the fuel stream. How did you calculate that?
Which one? Which one?
It says this Q dot F. How did you calculate this?
Vol-
Flow rate of the
Sir,
fuel stream.
So, sir, here we have to the velocity is given,
Yeah,
and
velocity is given. Yeah,
the area of the orifice, the diameter of the orifice is given.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and here we are supplying the mixture actually.
yeah. That is the point that I wanted to ask, because here volume, this is not the volume flow rate. This is wrong. Like, this
Hmm.
is wrong. This is not the volume flow rate. The volume flow rate is other than that. So how will you calculate the volume flow rate? This is the
So
fuel.
first,
Yeah. Tell me.
so for fuel flow rate, we can able to calculate because fuel velocity is known to us.
Yeah. This we can
And
calculate.
yes, and the density of the fuel we can evaluate from the PV P upon
Yeah,
RT.
yeah. Sure.
Okay.
We
Uh,
will get the density.
then it is given that 1 kg of fuel equals to the 1 kg of the oxidizer.
Yeah.
So the mass flow rate of the oxidizer is same as that of the fuel.
Yeah. Mass flow rate of oxidizer is equal to the
Equals
mass flow rate of fuel. So mass flow rate of mixture is equal to the 2
mix
into,
summation of both.
yeah, 2
2
in,
into yes.
yeah, same thing, 2 into mass flow rate of fuel. Yes.
Huh.
Now how will you calculate the that?
We have to divide it by the density of the mixture, and
Yeah. Density of the mixture. How will you calculate the density of the mixture? This is the mass
the,
flow rate of the mixture. And now, how will you calculate the density of the mixture? You please wait. Harsh, you please wait. Can anyone other than Harsh tell me how to calculate the density of mixture in this case? Other than Harsh, can anyone please let me know how to calculate the density of mixture in this case? In this case, see, like we have consider the case 1 only. Consider the case 1 only, where 21% oxygen and 79% nitrogen is there, and the mass flow rate of oxidizer is equal to the mass flow rate of the fuel stream. So how to calculate the density of mixture? And see, both oxidizer and fuel stream are coming at 1 atm and 300 Kelvin, so temperature won't change, neither temperature nor pressure. So 300 Kelvin mixture temperature we know, temperature of the mixture is 300 Kelvin, this we know, and pressure of the mixture is 1 atm, that also we know. So for this condition, how to calculate the density of mixture?
Sir, pressure
Yeah,
into molecular weight of mixture
molecular weight of mixture,
into divided by RU,
r r
sorry,
r r
characteristic gas constant into
yeah.
temperature. This one.
R is, so can you tell me what is the molecular weight of mixture? How to calculate the molecular
Sir, this
weight
is
of, this is
sir,
correct.
this is
Molecular,
1 divided by 0.5 divided by what is the value of oxygen? 44.
what is 0.5? 44. How you are getting 44?
So molecular mass,
Yeah, molecular weight of,
molecular weight. Sorry,
yeah,
molecular
molecular
weight
weight
of
of,
oxygen O2.
no, this is not the molecular weight of oxygen.
So for condition 1,
Yeah, for condition 1 only I am talking. 44, how you are getting
yes.
44?
Mm,
What is the molecular weight of propane?
Oh, sorry. Here is the question. Uh,
Question number 10.
helium.
No.
No, sorry.
Forget about helium. You just solve for one case. All cases are same. Just you
Oh,
need to
yes.
repeat the step. That's it. So for first case,
Propane.
so this
Sir,
propane is there. So the molecular weight of propane 0.5 upon 44
yes.
plus 0.5 upon
Upon here
upon molecular weight of
air.
air, so this will be 28.8
28.82.
89 or something like that, 28.9 or 28.89. This is fine. So this is how you are getting the molecular weight of mixture. Yeah, I totally understand, but how you are getting this, like 1 upon 0.5 upon 44 plus 0.5 upon 28.89, how you are getting this?
Sir, this is 0.5 plus 0.8 total. Assume 1, then divided, sir,
Yeah.
according to percentage.
Okay, yeah. Just I wanted to focus this point only. Yeah, fine. So how you are getting 28.89? Just quickly you let me know. This is several times we have solved. How you are getting 20 molecular weight of air is 28.89? How you are getting this? Izadul Rahman, till this point you are correct. Till this point you are correct.
Yes, sir.
So just let me know how you are getting molecular weight of air 28.89.
So molecular weight of air, this is actually uh, 0.21 according to
0.
21%
Yeah. 0.21.
into 32 for oxygen.
This, yeah.
O2 30 16 into 2
Plus 0.79 into
79 into, sir, according to
28.
nitrogen
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay,
Correct.
20.
So this is only this thing you are supposed to do for all the three questions. You will get the answer. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Those like good that you answer this. Okay, so try to solve this question. Question number assignment number 10. Question number 1.
Sir, representation of mean size of the medium eddies.
Representation of mean size of medium eddies. No. See, they have explained four length scales they have explained. So Taylor micro scale is, this is not mean size. Mean size, I forget, it is something different there. Like, it is not the mean size.
Sorry, sir, it is the smallest eddy size.
A smallest
Uh,
eddy is Kolmogorov length scale is the smallest eddy size.
Let me check, sir.
Yeah.
It is ratio of RMS velocity fluctuation to the mean strain rate.
Yeah. So someone else can answer this question. Okay, so the answer is correct. It is the ratio of velocity fluctuation to the mean strain rate. Okay, so question number second. Can anyone tell me how you are getting Rain's equation, Reynolds average, Navier-Stokes equation? How to obtain that?
Yes, sir. It is the time average mean fluctuation of the velocity that we have to incorporate in the momentum equation.
I don't know what they have covered in this, but in basic that we have na incompressible fluid flow course. So in that we have studied like how to get the Reynolds average Rain's equation. So yeah, from momentum equation you can get, but I don't know like how, but directly from the Reynolds, that Navier-Stokes equation, you can get the Rain's equation. You just see one thing. Suppose that the flow is turbulent. So is that Navier-Stokes equation valid or not for the turbulent fluid flow?
It is not valid directly, sir.
Okay, someone else can answer this question. My question is, in the turbulent fluid flow, is the Navier-Stokes equation valid or not? I think there are lot of students who have completed their master, so that is why I am asking this. So if someone is from undergraduate level, I don't think he can answer this, but for master level, if he is from some huge PG degree, then. So my question is the Navier-Stokes equation valid in turbulent fluid flow or not? Someone else can answer. Okay, okay, okay. See, the correct answer is Navier-Stokes equation is valid in turbulent fluid flow, but we don't know exact velocity. So that is why to get the average velocity, we know average velocity and fluctuating component. Then we average it. We do suppose that we write the Navier-Stokes equation. We do the Reynolds averaging, and then we get the Rayleigh equation. So Navier-Stokes equation is very much valid in turbulent fluid flow. It is not like there is no problem in that applying Navier-Stokes equation in turbulent fluid flow. But the problem is we don't know the velocity. We know the mean velocity and fluctuating component. U plus U dash. Yeah. So this equation is 100% valid in turbulent fluid flow. This is the Navier-Stokes equation applying along the x direction. This is 100% valid in turbulent fluid flow. Only the thing is we don't know what is u, we don't know what is v, we don't know what is w, because it is fluctuating. So we write u is equal to the u average plus u dash, v is equal to the v average plus v dash, and w is equal to the w average plus w dash. And we write this in place, so we substitute u, v and w with these equations, and then we do the Reynolds averaging. Time average, we do this Reynolds averaging, and we will get the Rayleigh equation. Okay, so coming to this question, in the Reynolds stress term obtained during the time averaging or Navier-Stokes equation are resultant of.
Convective terms.
Yeah, someone else can answer. Okay, so the correct answer is convective term. Okay, so this one, question number 3. Someone else can answer question number 3. Come to the question number 3. I don't know. First option is jet Reynolds number. In turbulent jet, the jet spread rate depend on first option is jet Reynolds number, and these are the three options. Okay. So the answer is none of the above. See, it does not depend on that jet. It does not depend on Reynolds number. In laminar jet, it depend on Reynolds number, but in turbulent jet, it does not depend on Reynolds number. Question number 3 and question number 4. Try to answer question number 4.
Greater than 1, sir.
No, no, no. Wrinkled flame zone is formed when the ratio of flame thickness to the Kolmogorov scale is. Answer is none of the above. See, in wrinkled flame zone, is turbulence intensity upon SL is less than 1, but it is saying something else. Uh, Flame thickness to the Kolmogorov length. No. See, it is turbulent intensity upon laminar flame speed is less than 1, not the flame thickness upon Kolmogorov length scale. Okay. Okay, in question number 5, in distributive reaction zone, damped polar number is. In distributive reaction zone, damped polar number is.
Sir, less than 1.
Yeah, less than 1. Less than 1, that is correct. Okay, question number 6. In turbulent jet flame, as the flame fuel velocity is increased, its length. See, in laminar jet flame, if fuel velocity will increase, its length will increase, because it need more air, so that it can, like, more air can diffuse, so the length of the flame will increase. But what will happen in turbulent jet flame?
Constant.
Yeah, that is correct answer. It will remain constant. See, ultimately, if you keep on increasing, a time will come, its flame length will not change. In fact, the answer should be almost remain constant. We cannot say like exactly remain constant, almost remain constant. But like, if you keep on increasing, this flame will lift off, but its flame length will not increase. Okay, question number 7. Try to solve the question number 7.
Sir, please scroll down. The full question. Yes, yes. Okay.
Is the question number 8, is the question not visible to you? Question number 8.
Are you talking about 7 or 8, sir?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Question number 7. Try to solve question number 7. Actually, question number 7. Okay, so see, someone can tell me like how they are solving. Okay, what value of SL you are getting? Laminar frame speed SL.
109.9.
What is the unit? They have given the unit, right?
Yes, sir. It is centimeter per second.
It is centimeter per second. Okay. See, everyone is getting this, right? 109.9 centimeter per second. Izadul Rahman, are you getting this SL or you are getting different value?
No, sir, I'm
Same
so
value.
actually they have no, sir, I'm just calculating.
Surabhi, did you get this value? SL 109.9?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now to calculate the flame thickness. How will you calculate the flame thickness del 2 into alpha upon SL?
So it is K by rho Cp.
Yeah, 2 into K by rho Cp.
Rho we can calculate from the equation of state.
Okay, from where you will get thermal conductivity in Cp?
Sir, we have to calculate at the mean temperature from the air data.
Air data we have to calculate. Yeah, this can we can do, but you need not to do that. There is some another hint that is given in the question. Like they have mentioned Prandtl number is equal to the 1. What is Prandtl number?
Mu rho, mu Cp by K.
Same thing, nu K upon nu upon alpha, that is Prandtl number, right?
Yes.
Nu upon alpha. So they have given Prandtl number is equal to the 1, so nu is equal to the alpha. And they have given the viscosity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So first, can you tell me, is this nu or is this mu? The viscosity that they have given, is this nu or is this mu? Is this the kinematic viscosity or the dynamic viscosity they have given?
Kinematic given.
It is kinematic. From the unit you can know it is kinematic, right? Like they have written the kinematic or what? It's the in the viscosity they have the value of viscosity is how can you say that this is kinematic or dynamic?
Sir, in dynamic it is kg per meter second.
Yeah. So from the unit you can know it is kinematic viscosity. So nu is so from here you can calculate del flame thickness 2 into 70 to 10 to the power minus 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 upon 1.099 meter per second. This will give the del.
One 1.274 into 10 raised to minus 8.
No, it should not be. No. See, it should not be because I think you are taking 109.9. Not don't take 109.9. Take 1.09 meter per second.
Sir, I have converted the centimeter into meter.
Okay. Just give me a minute. I don't know where is my calculator. Just give me a minute.
Sir, yes, it is 1.284 into 10 raised to minus 4.
10 raised to minus 4.
Yes, sir. Correct.
10 raised to minus 4. I hope everyone is getting this. So this is this is meter, right?
Yes, sir.
In in mm 0.127, 0.127 in
Yes,
mm 0.
0.128 mm. That is.
Okay, so we have calculated the flame thickness. Now the next task is integral scale. See, first thing I want to know, like from everyone, I want to know, is this clear to everyone? Whatever we are doing, del is equal to 2 into alpha upon SL. Is this? I hope it is clear to everyone. Izadul Rahman, is this clear till this point? Everything is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the characteristics we need to find that integral scale. How to calculate the integral scale? Integral length scale, just 1 by 10th of that that diameter means that system length scale. So it is the diameter. So it will be 0.05. This system integral length scale is equal to the 1 by 10th of system that system length scale 0.05.
Sir, it is 0.5 meter, I think, not
No, no, no.
0.05.
See, what I'm saying, integral length scale is 1 by 10th
Okay,
of
yes, 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 yes,
system length scale.
yes, sir, correct.
So 1 by 10 of 0.5 means is equal to the
Yes,
0.5
yes,
upon
yes.
1 by 10. So it will be 0.5 upon 10, 0.05. Now the next question is turbulence intensity.
Sir, from the relative
Yeah,
intensity, we can find out
yeah.
the.
From the relative intensity, we can find out.
So, the relative intensity is nothing but the fluctuation, the RMS of fluctuation velocity upon the mean velocity.
Yeah, yeah. Mean velocity of the flow. Yeah, right. Like upon mean velocity of the flow.
It is given 120 meter per
Mean
second.
velocity of flow. It is given. So the fluctuating component Vrms is equal to the uh,
10%. It is a 10%.
10%. So okay, okay. So this is the relative turbulence intensity they have given is 10%. So this will be 10 upon 100 into 120. This is the mean velocity. So it will be 12. Relative turbulence intensity, it will be 12. Now the next part is turbulence Reynolds number.
It is the fluctuation of RMS velocity into LO, that is the integral length upon the nu.
Yeah, yeah. So integral length is 0.5 upon 10, so it will be 0.05 upon nu is 70 into 10 to the power minus 6. 8571 8571.428 8571.428 turbulent Reynolds number. Yeah, Kolmogorov scale. Okay, so this is Kolmogorov length scale. See, first thing, this is empirical relation. You cannot see. As such, I don't know how to get this. This is an empirical relation that I found in the PPT. So we have to use that. What is the derivation? I don't know. I don't think we can get the derivation of this equation. This like how we are getting, but how what is epsilon naught? This is the rate of kinetic energy dissipation. Epsilon naught, and nu is the that kinematic viscosity. So nu upon epsilon naught to the power 0.5, and epsilon naught is given by 3 into Vrms square upon 2 into L naught upon Vrms. L naught is the characteristic length scale. Yeah, so try to solve this Kolmogorov length scale. First we will find epsilon naught, and then 3 into Vrms is 12, right? What is Vrms is 12 square upon 2 upon that characteristic length scale 0.05 upon Vrms 12. So we will get
23017.
2301.
7.
Sir, I got 51840.
Yeah, 5184. 5184. Okay. Yeah, that is the same thing. I am getting 5184.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Kolmogorov length scale, just substitute here, and you will get Kolmogorov length scale nu 70 into 10 to the power minus 6 upon 5184 to the power 0.25.
Sir, I'm
6.06
getting
into 10 raised to minus 3.
51840.
Five one. Yeah. So, yeah, 51840. This is correct. 51840. 51840. Yeah. It is 51840.
Sir, 6.06 into 10 raised to minus 3. That is in meter.
Okay. So everyone is getting this right. Yeah, so mm will be 6.061. Okay, so dam Kohler number. Now, yeah, this is correct. This is correct. Now we need to find the dam Kohler number. Okay, just calculate the dam Kohler number. Just you need to use this dam Kohler number and you will get the answer. Flame thickness, laminar flame speed, characteristics length, that turbulent intensity. What we calculated the flame thickness. What was the flame thickness?
One zero 9.9.
1.09. 1.09. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
1.09 or it is 1.09, right? 1.099. One point zero nine
35.66.
35.66. Yes, I think it is correct only because this answer is correct. 35.99, 35.9 or 35.6. That is 1.09. See, I hope everyone is getting 35.64. So that is the correct answer. So like it is, if you see 35.9 and 35.64, it is within 5% limit. So the correct answer is this one, 35.9. So the second option is correct. I hope everyone have solved this. Everyone is getting this. So now we will move to the next question. Question number 8. Try to solve the question number 8. See, uh, like is there anyone who is having some doubt in this question? Okay, try to solve question number 8. first in question number 10 they are saying consider a mixture of methanol vapor and air with 5% excess air. Is this, so the stoichiometric ratio phi, is this greater than 1 or less than 1?
Less than 1, sir.
Less than 1. Anyone else can answer? It is saying what is stoichiometric ratio, stoichiometric equivalent ratio phi is equal to the fuel air actual upon fuel air theoretical. So in this case, if you consider fuel is same, then the actual case okay. So now is phi greater than 1 or less than 1? They are saying that it is excess air is present. So if you consider like fuel is same in both the cases, actual case and theoretical case, consider that fuel is same, then 1 upon a actual upon 1 upon a theoretical. So like other than her, what others are saying, is this greater than 1 or less than 1?
So less than 1.
Less than 1. Yeah, that is correct. Less than 1. Actual is greater than theoretical, so it is less than 1. Phi is less than 1. Okay, so what is phi here? If we know phi, then we can calculate SL. That's it. In this question, we need to know that only phi. If we know phi, we can get SL, and if we get SL, we know VRMS, and we know VRMS. They have given, and just we will get the answer. What is phi? Hars, can you tell me what is phi? Equivalent ratio. Okay, so if not the exact answer, let me know how to calculate phi, equivalent ratio.
It's 0.9523.
Point 9523. So everyone agree? Is this 0.9523? Izazul Rahman, are you getting this 0.9523 or you are getting different answer?
Yes, sir.
Point
9523. 0.95.
okay. Okay, Survi, I hope you are also getting this 0.9523. Or if not,
Yes, sir.
okay, 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 okay.
Sir, SR is 33.425 centimeter per second.
Okay, okay. So basically, how we are getting phi is equal to the, suppose that phi is equal to, just I want to explain just for 1 minute so that if anyone who is not clear, so that he should know. Fuel air actual upon fuel air theoretical. Fuel air, so consider that, just consider, because if you, the the equivalent ratio, if there are 100 mole of fuel or 1 mole of fuel, equivalent ratio won't change. So just consider what I am saying. Don't get confused. What I am saying, if you consider given composition, in that composition, if you consider a per part, then equivalent ratio won't change. So for one, suppose that consider 1 mole of fuel. So in 1 mole of fuel, you have some actual amount of air, and in 1 mole of fuel, you have some theoretical amount of air. So if you consider 1 mole of fuel, so just you neglect this one. So here you will get A theoretical upon A actual, A theoretical upon A actual, and it is saying actual case is 5% extra. So A upon like A plus 5 into A upon 100. So this will, you will get 1 upon 1, like 100 upon 105. This is how you are getting phi. 100 upon 105, this will give 0.100 upon 105, this will give 0.9, something like that. 100 upon 105, this will give 100 upon 105, this will be 0.9523, 0.9523. So that's it. Now you need to calculate phi. Yeah. Harsh, I think you have calculated what you are getting as
33.425
33.425
centimeter per second.
centimeter per second. I hope everyone is getting this 33.425. So just you need to write the value of phi here, 36.92 minus 140.51, 140.51 into 0.9525 minus 1.11 whole square. So it will be 36.92, 36.92 minus 140.51, 140.51 into 0.9525, 0.9525 minus 1.11 whole square. So it will give 33.43, right? Harsh,
Yes, sir.
33.43, right?
Yes, sir.
Centimeter per second. Okay, now they are saying turbulent flame speed upon laminar flame is related by this equation. Turbulent is related by this equation, 3.5 into turbulent intensity upon SL to the power SL to the power 0.7. We know SL, laminar flame speed, we know. So 3.5 into what is that turbulent intensity is given by turbulent intensity is that relative turbulent intensity into SL into mean velocity of the flow flowing through a combustion chamber at a velocity of 5 meter per second and 5% excessive turbulent intensity That what they have given. This relative turbulence intensity is 5%. Yeah,
Sir,
yeah, yeah,
sir,
yeah.
answer I'm getting is 98.32.
Okay, okay. So from here we are getting turbulent intensity VRMS. So they have mentioned that to consider a mixture of flowing through a combustion chamber at a velocity of 5 meter per second. This is the mean velocity. The relative turbulent intensity is measured as 5% VRMS upon V mean. They are saying like 5 upon 100. So VRMS is equal to 5 upon 100. 5% means 5 upon 100. That's what they are saying. 5 upon 100 into 5, so 0.25. Now as turbulent upon SL, they have given a relation as turbulent upon SL is equal to the 3.5 into 0.25 upon what is SL, 30.
This 33.425, that is 0.334 meter per second.
Yeah, 3.5 upon 0.33434 meter per second. This is 0.25 upon 0.33 to the power 0.7. So as turbulent
Sir, 95.22.
okay, just as turbulent 3.5 into 0.25 upon 0.33434 to the power 0.7 into 0.334 0.334. But like I have done some mistake or what? I am getting 1.010 meter per second. So 101 centimeter per second. See, like you did the same. Harth, you did the same, right? Same thing, or you have done something else? 0.25 upon 0.33434 to the power. Oh, this is not 0.5. This is 0.7. This is 0.7. Here it is 0.7. I did a mistake.
Yes, sir. It is 0.7.
Yeah, it is 0.7. So if we do that,
95.22 I'm getting.
okay, 3.5 into 0.25 upon 0.33434 to the power 0.7 into 0.334 0.334, yeah, so this will be 0.9537 meter per second. Okay, so what about others? Izadul Rahman, what you are getting?
So till now I'm calculating, sir.
Okay, Surabhi, are you getting the same thing? 0.95?
Yes, sir. I'm getting 95.2 centimeter per second.
It's the same thing, same thing. 95.3, 95.2 centimeter per second, same thing. It is, yeah, in that range. Okay. Izadul Rahman, are you getting this 0.95 or 95.2 or something?
Yes, sir, same thing.
Okay, okay. So try to solve the question number 9. There is correlation called Gunther correlation that you have to use. If you use that, you will get the answer. Okay, I will tell you the correlation and you try to solve that answer. You try to solve that. The correlation is, the name is Gunther correlation. This is okay, Gunther correlation. This is length of turbulent flame upon diameter is equal to the 6 into s plus 1 into rho into e upon rho into f to the power 0.5, and rho into e is equal to the fuel gas density, and rho into f is equal to the flame density, average flame density. This is average flame density. Just use this correlation and you will get the answer. 6 into s plus 1 rho into e upon rho into f to the power 0.5.
Sir, uh, please minimize that whiteboard. Data is not visible.
Okay, okay. basically what I want everyone to see this correlation. F is the stoichiometric air fuel ratio. Yeah, someone want to say something?
Sir, diffusivity value.
No, no, this is not diffusivity. This is not diffusivity. This is diameter of the port. D is the
Got you.
diameter of the port. See, this is easy. Just you need to substitute the value. That's it. You will get the answer. D is the diameter of the port. Should I write it like this? Just use that PV is equal to the MRT equation and write the
Sir, 9.55 meter I'm
9
getting.
9.55 meter. 9.55 meter. Everyone is getting. Someone else can tell me what others are getting. Okay. I will solve it. If someone else have like got this answer, please let me know 9.55 or 9.49 or something else. Whatever you are getting, let me know. You just need to substitute the value. That's it. This is a correlation. Just you need to use this correlation. What is S? Can anyone tell me what is S?
It is 4.76 into 28.84.
You are saying that 4.76 into 28.84
Uh,
divided by,
sir, sir, we have to multiply by 2. 2
yeah,
into 4.76
yeah,
and
2
divide by 16.
divided by 16. Okay, like Izazul Rahman, can you tell me like did you solve this question or you are still solving?
Yes, sir, solving, sir.
Yeah, you are solving or okay. Survi, you got the answer?
No, sir, I got the wrong answer.
Okay. So S you are getting this, the S you are getting, is this correct? S 4.76 4.76 into 28.84 28.84 into 2 upon 16. So this will be 17.1598 17.1598. Okay, I am solving it. You let, okay, so should I wait for few more minutes? Like I think Izazul Rahman is solving this question. See, in this correlation, LFT is the turbulent flame height length, and D is the diameter of the port, and
Sir,
L.
I am getting 17.15.
Okay, you are getting 17 point. Okay. You are getting 17 meter. That is like you are getting 17 point something. So it is 17 meter. So
Yes.
flame length in meter. Okay, so just whenever when I solve, you just check and let me know what is the mistake that you did. Okay, so this is the value of s we are getting. So are you getting the same value of s, 17.15?
I'm getting 17.159.
17.159, that is correct. So now 6 into, now we need to calculate the density of the fuel gas density we need to calculate. So this methane, this fuel gas is methane, so density we need to calculate the density of fuel gas. So rho P upon RT into M. So this is 1 atm is 101.325 kilopascal. 325 into molecular weight of methane 16 upon 8.314 into T, temperature is 300 Kelvin. So how density of fuel gas, density of fuel gas, this will be 10,
0.6499.
okay, 101.325 into 16 upon 8.314 into 300. It will be 0.6499 kg per meter cube. And now density of fuel gas, and another one is the average flame density. Flame density P into molecular weight of flame upon R into T. So this pressure won't change. This pressure won't change, so only the temperature will change. Like if the flame won't change the temperature, that flame won't change the pressure, it will change only temperature. So this pressure P is 101.325. Basically it is saying 1 atm, 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to the 101.325 kilopascal into molecular weight they have given 29, molecular weight 29 upon 8.314, 8.314 temperature they have given 1673 Kelvin. It will be 101.325 into 29 upon 8.314 into 1673. So this will be 0.211. Now just substitute the value in that correlation. LFT upon D is equal to the now we have already calculated everything, just we need to substitute this value. 6 into S plus 1. What is S? S is 17.1598. 17.1598 plus 1, 17.1598 plus 1 into rho into E upon rho into F. Rho into E will be 0.6499 upon 0.211. 0.6499 upon 0.211. 0.211 to the power 0.5. Just solve this and we into 17.15901598 plus 1 into 0.6499 upon 0.211 to the power 0.5 to the power 0.5 is equal to the 191.22. Now LFT upon D 191.22. 191.22. So this LFT is equal to the, what is the diameter of the port they have given? 50 mm. 50 mm, yes. 191.22 into 50. This will be in mm, so just multiply by 10 to the power minus 3. This will give in meter. 191.22 into 50 into 10 to the power minus 3. 9.561. 9.561. Okay, so now I hope it is clear to everyone. Izadul Rahman, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So what is the mistake that you are doing? What mistake you did?
No, sir, now clear, sir.
Okay.
Actually, in first I mistake some numerical value, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Surbi, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are done now. So like there is no more question. So we will meet next week. So 2 more classes are remaining. Okay, guys. Thank you. Now we can leave. Okay, and one more thing. Yeah, today I will upload. Today I will upload all the assignment. Just after the class I will upload all the assignment. Okay, Harsh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Harsh, you were saying like Navier-Stokes equation is not valid in turbulent fluid flow. So on what
No,
basis?
it is not directly valid. It is, we have to incorporate that average velocity term. And
No. That answer is not correct.
okay,
See, you can directly apply Navier-Stokes equation in turbulent fluid flow.
okay.
If you are saying not, then on what basis you are saying not?
Sir, the term that in the video, the sir has replaced that velocity, mean velocity, by the mean velocity plus the variation in the velocity with the time. On that basis, I told.
Okay, so in the Navier-Stokes equation, you are replacing u by u average plus u dash. Is it so?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. See, the thing is, yeah, that I have already explained. So, okay. The same thing it is coming. See, it is nothing but we don't know u because it is changing with time. That is why we are replacing with mean and fluctuating component. The same thing.
Okay.
See, you can see the video, like one NPTEL video is there by Suman Chakravarti. We all know that. So in that,
Chakrabarti sir,
yeah.
it is, I think, from IIT Madras only.
No, he's not from IIT Madras. I think he's from some other IIT, some Kharagpur or something. So
Okay.
he like clearly he said that in turbulent fluid flow, that Navier-Stokes equation is 100% valid, completely valid. So there is no problem in applying Navier-Stokes equation in turbulent fluid flow. But we don't know u. That is why we do the averaging.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You welcome.
Okay.